What I'm afraid of about my job is being the writer of this book. And even though people might get the wrong interpretation about me, it's about time that you understand why I'm upset at other races. And then you tell me if it's who's worth talking to. Now that I'm clear, I'm hoping that the BS will be brought to who us as a people need to confront the fraud of false prophets. Not only God is the judge of you, but maybe we are, and you will be sentenced as I stated earlier in this book. From what happened to me, you might as well have given me the world and the American dream. I have my safe deposit box. I was thinking maybe I could put my nuts in there with all my other personal things. That way I can have a place where I don't have to worry about anyone taking those items away because I feel they took everything else away but nuts this time. I have a picture of my mom. The job is to keep her safe, and that's what I did. I have been reading a lot, working up many ideas for this book. This book has started since I was 14 years old. I am 31. I read 400-page books. It can take me 3 days if I want. I love to read communicational books. It's like 9 times out of 10, I'm right about the way things need to be said and done. Just like there was a time when I was younger, when camera phones didn't exist. I first found the answer about asking to take a picture of someone first. Nowadays, people are just shooting everyone with those camera phones. I was 11 years old when I was cheating at the library, just playing the world's game. I'm sharper than a porcupine's needle. I remember Mr. Cintron, my English teacher, we were talking about this book plus a porcupine's needle, and I asked him how did he know. He said, I didn't. I laughed, but sure do want to see him when I'm done with this book. He's who's worth talking to. If he goes to last, if one finger on a basketball, I'ma shoot his damn fingers off and then take a picture of them flying, hand them over to him. Well, besides, I could. I like him too much. Everyone knows it. And I quit smoking nowadays. But I was hanging with my favorite NBA basketball player in the game of sports. And I idol him almost in every way. I had a perfect game. There was times where I felt free. I could do what I wanted with the ball and I was unstoppable. But I would stop everyone else. Steal the ball, score, I mean it was ridiculous. At times it was a time when I had tears of laughter. There was times that my team would walk off on me and then I asked, where is everyone going? Seeing 8 or 9 guys walk away from a little 5'8" guy is crazy. You wouldn't believe it. I love that game. Jordan, number 23, fits to wear. Who's worth talking to? And it is not Haynes. I hope Michael Jordan is my witness. He'll look at me and be proud. I want to pat him on the back. I give him my autograph and I'd like to have one. I think of my life's problems. I think that my life's problems is that I just want to be more than what I am. But at the same time, I am someone very special, and that someone is Mr. Thomas Philip One Feather Bell, a guy that's about to give the world the unexpected, a book, another to be on the show, so you can buy it off the show, but don't buy me out because I have a point to get across, and I know a lot of you guys will be a little upset and jealous. I would too if that wasn't me on the cover of my book that I wrote. So better luck next time. And get ready for round two. But the writing looks better than most of my women. anyways, but it's the heart that matters to me the most. You understand? I'm just trying to get a positive point of view, no matter how you see it. Chapter 7. Negative with the positive. I thought to myself about this lady in Chicago, Illinois, named Jessica Fobbs. I've been thinking I wish she would have waited on her college for a little while, because along with the negative with her, she exchanged my feelings to a positive, and her heart means as much as mine does right now. There's not been anyone that had her accent. It was polite, kind, it was outgoing, it was an up, not a let me down type, but maybe she was pulling my leg. But she would pull my dick and tell me that's mine and come on, let's go. I'd blush be- because it feels really good when a woman does that. Women, if you don't know that at home with him, try it. Watch his face. If he never smiled, he will now. That's a fact. Trust me. Everything I hate to say is close enough to facts. So if he doesn't smile while you're joking together, then something's wrong. Even after an argument, hurry, grab it. Grab it fast. Now that I think about it, my ex-wife did that. My Miss Natalie did that in Miami, Florida. Well, anyways, it's a wonderful way to get your couch potato to go with you. Living single ain't easy, but you have to deal with it until things grow to become more fortunate for yourselves. Because who said life was easy? Just like pimping, you have to put all that bullshit behind and make life fortunate for yourselves along with some bad times in life. So they'll eventually come to be good times in life. Even if you do have to be the signifying monkey that steps on another shoe for a stepping stone, then do it. Because if he stops, it's only because your shoe is still on his foot, but you will lift it because you both have to be on the move for some new changing of life, and at least you both are not handicapped and able to do what you all choose. Because life has choices, and you choose what comes next. I've I've got myself an apartment, very nice. I have a mailbox. I have a mailbox to keep all my personal mail coming. Very important info that comes. I've also got my IM account straight with a friend that helped me, Don Lake, at the American Native Social Research Institute. Now, I have some native monies coming into my checking account. It is not much, but I have my negatives plus positive times. But you must work at life, or at least make it look like you're doing something in life that's positive, even though what you do in life or did may have not been as good. But if you were thinking good and your bad ways wasn't intentional, put the negative into a positive and grow to be an honest person. And say out loud to your families, we're not con artists anymore. We're economical, social development scientists. Because now you don't have to worry about your negative, positive attitude with others, meaning you're not bothering anyone else because you and your family are in the house as one. But waiting to tell you what I've been waiting to tell you. I bought myself some renter's insurance for my apartment from American Family Home Insurance Company because I'm putting the negative with my positive side of thinking because I'm single and I don't like worrying as long as all my personal business is taken care of. who's worth talking to. My friend Don Lake told me today, he says, "Man, you got more going on than I do, and I work. What the hell?" I laugh because my mind is a racetrack. It keeps going, and I never stop thinking about what's important and put he slash she say out. That's another reason why I stay to myself because someone else is doing. I could care less what someone else is doing. It's not beneficial for me or anyone else that I know along the way to my mind. I put the negative with the positive, like I said in the past of this book. If I don't have the answer, like in the past of this book, if I don't have the answer, come back in a few days and I'll have it. And that's who's worth talking to. My foster dad, Othniel Daniel Bell, passed away a few years back. May he rest in peace, and God bless the holy. I didn't receive any cash from his death. I received my Social Security check every month before, and since then it's been hard living single without anybody else's financial support. I also went ahead and bought a safe deposit box for this year. I've been keeping parts of my book there. I might as well be honest, everything I've said in this book isn't all the way right, but for a good purpose, and that's freedom for myself and anyone else like myself. Well, not exactly alike, but similar lifestyles. So I'm putting the negative with the positive and a better perspective view, and now more clear to see why I'm so frustrated at other races, and something must be done about it, or it's an ongoing type of thing. It's no longer a joke. It's biz personal. That's why I'm who's worth talking to in 2010 and 11 and going to be 2011 this coming December. Speaking of car, I used to work at the YMCA before I done overtime. I done overtime. They said they fired me because I was harassing some white woman, but I didn't, and I worked very hard as a janitor in the Youngstown, Ohio downtown YMCA. So I went into the shower room where Sioux Falls, South Dakota YMCA, where some hair may have been mine. Looked like the janitors just left it there. Now is that my responsibility to pick it up or theirs? After all, they do have rubber gloves. That's what they're there for, to use them, man. I wanted that '88 Riviera, and I saved up enough. They wouldn't have fired me on my way. I would have been on my way to buy it again. Who's worth talking to? I'll probably be receiving my furniture from Aaron's this month, next month of October. Plus, I bought me Sierra Boston glasses, nice to drink out of. Not expecting too much company, just someone normal, sensible, knowledgeable, some sort, because no one wants people that don't know how to wipe their own asses around, unless I have to. I'll call her Skippy. You know what? Something came to mind about Miss Skippy for Christmas. How about a walker with basketballs on the bottom, with a wooden floor in front of you, with wax on it, bitch? Yeah, I say I know it hurts, but get over it. I did many times, and waiting hurts. It doesn't even matter, and me wanting love instead of pleasures of the world was what mattered to me the most, was that made me so in particular. But there's no one out there in this world that would be blessed enough to enjoy some real good times and much more satisfaction than you have been receiving in your past. You should be welcoming me some in with both keys. From what I've been receiving in my mind is that someone don't want me here. And I'm talking other than just white folks. I may even be talking about the woman in my own crazy world of family. because I noticed when I spoke up about my ex-wife at times, I thought I was right. Even women in my family thought I was wrong. But hey, I was younger, but after a while, I suffered to get some money once again. Airbricks gave me a job at a store. The bad part about it was no one in the state of Ohio probably would have because of their jealous evil ways, wanting to be a better man than me, myself and I, but my ex-wife can vouch for me on that. She also told me that I didn't even have to work. She would say, I want what you got. And I say, what's that? She say, that dick. I blushed because she was the only person at the time that I loved to hear that from. She told me I could have anything I want with it if I knew what to do with it. I'm still trying to figure that out. I say there's many dicks, but none that will give you the erections that I feel the way I do when I'm making us come with this dick. Who's worth talking to? My ex-wife was almost starting to be on that jealousy bullshit until I told her to stop that shit about what direction I would look out the car window or maybe walking around in the stores with her. I'm not jealous or selfish guy. I caught my ex-wife's eye eyes once looking at some guy in the grocery store. So I asked her, you want to fuck him? And she said, uh-huh. And she asked if I would get upset. So I said no. I went, talked with the man in the grocery store. I said, hey man, I'm Thomas. My wife wants to fuck you. He was afraid of pussy. So I went back to my wife and told her he don't want no pussy. He acts just like pussy. Me and my wife laughed at the time. I didn't care about my wife getting her fuck on or looking at men. I feel as long as I know who she's fucking and when, it wouldn't matter and would love to watch. As long as I'm there, fine, I can handle that. It ain't what you do, it's how you do it. Yeah, I must say I'm kind of kinky in bed, also in sex lives, but that's what makes me a compatible type of guy. I grew out of some jealousy ways, but once again, who's worth talking to? I'm looking to receive the pleasures of being the man of my household for my beautiful queen of the house. I must be able to feel free so I can receive the way we should live together. Love is easy as 1, 2, 3. It's not hard to understand someone when you have no choice but to crawl back to them. My way is simpler than others. And when I love someone, it's not as hard to get things done unless there's some BS involved. I know that money makes the world go round, but love does too. And what I'm talking about is not gay, straight love. Now that's clear. I'm to a point in my life to even I don't know what's going on. And somewhere I've then got lost. But I've been thinking on asking these younger people in the new world how they've been in this new world and what it's like now, understanding as humans we have hearts. I know that there's someone complaining on how I live, but they're never complaining on how they hate on me, will they? So some people are worse than a pesticide. Those types of people, I bet when I do publish this book, they'll be right there. I'm so international, they'll never be able to escape my trap I set for them. Anyone down with them will be known as a follower, not a leader. To my knowledge, there's no one. They will be caught on the world's most stupidest criminals. I've done some dumb crimes only to get caught to let the world know I ain't taking no shit. And to my belief, I'm military intelligence. I used it. I felt like Martin Luther King. If I don't stand up for myself, will she? The love of my life, the one I had my eye on in high school, from what I see, no. So I will so will I be there when some people die? No. Who's worth talking to? Chapter 7. Negative with a positive. I really don't like females with children. but at least they're black. And that way, there's no confusion because I know a white lady would be like, my kid has been talking black now, and it's all because of you, Mr. Thomas Philibel. And I'd be like, I was who's worth talking to until you brought your kids here. And to black people, the way I talk really is nothing but to the point. This shit is more direct than usual, and I'm still who's worth talking to. If you take a look in your purse, there ain't no more money in it. Now, is there? I guess life isn't easy with me walking around here, or is that they've never really had me yet? Well, life's a bitch, and then what? Have you ever heard of sex called thunder? It goes along with electrical sex. I said they're both very amusing to see, plus funny. Yeah, I've had time to study for all of that, and I was running in circles. If anything, she was, and doing her praying dances for me for some beer. Shit, she said. And then she said, I just don't want to do it, and I don't know what to do. What should I tell her? The only thing that comes to mind is going to hell. And if she comes back, I'll tell her, I'm hotter than that. And then I'll ask her, do you really want it? Through the pain and suffering in life with all the nonsense going on in this world, plus conscience, it's really amazing to get a mission resolved through the hurt and how good it feels to finally talk and meet people in life that's important to you like brothers, plus sister, aunts, uncles, and who's worth talking to. My relationships really haven't been on top like they should, but one damn thing I sure have is just that most females don't add up to their looks. No money down on their luck. That's how you know something ain't right. The other part is I was on the net and I was chatting on the computer with a black female one time about who I was and what the hell was wrong with me. She asked what I was about. I told the young woman I was on my way to writing a book, and she said, oh, okay. But she said that she said, we don't trust you is why they be acting like that. They think I want to cheat on them. I'm not even that type of guy. Looks can be mysterious. That's why I'm writing this book, because I can say, don't judge the book by its cover. Buy it. Read it. I'll say, I'm not what I'm writing. I'm giving you the way that I think at times, and at times I forgot what was in my mind a few minutes ago. So women, black women, relax on the future of kids, please. I need to talk sometimes. Beautiful. Okay, darling. Damn. Don't rush me to talk. Give me some life here. Let's go and live life. It is time, but if it is important, if I have to bring it to your attention, and if it was important, if it's in reach, you'll see how fast I get up on it. As long as it ain't a gimmick or a swindle, and as long as I'm playing a part in it, life is serious. Who's worth talking to? Kind of. Hopefully, after this book is published and put on a shelf for display for sale, that things in life, like necessities that our other males have for their women, plus money starts rolling in like it has supposed to been a long time ago, and mix beauty and the beast together. But I'm not a beast. I'm more on a compassionate side in bed. So it'll be like breakfast in the mornings so we can start to learn how one another lives their daily lives, and that starts one hell of a negative to positive together. We can build a future together at all and work our way to whatever. Sometimes it doesn't even take a lot of work. It takes some knowledge, and knowledge means king, and some keys mean a lot. It's the smaller things in life that mean the most, and pain that wouldn't make a perfect diamond, and that's who's worth talking to. A banana don't mean shit if you ain't got the heart to pick it up. Just watch your step because you also have to have a little bit of heart left to stand on it. So don't you slip and fall because you also have to have the heart to get up if you do. So be careful with that heart. So what does a diamond mean if the person that dropped the diamond in your hand dropped out? Who's worth talking to? If I was 31, if I was a 31-year-old fag, it wouldn't be good at all because I talk too much. Because the Cherokee native side won't allow me to keep a secret on how gay other guys are. And I'd be telling all my lady friends how little your penises are and how mine's so big. And then you go home and lie and say I started that shit. But remember, she was your bitch. But guess who's worth talking to? Me, Mr. Thomas Phillip One Feather Bell. You little dick poor fuck. You should be sweeping sidewalks and begging for a place to stay, something to eat. As much as you people have the nerve to talk behind my back, now I'm talking behind yours. And God sent Jesus, his only begotten Son, to die for our sins. Who are you? And I think those big girls know what time it is. And it has nothing to do with that meat in the fridge or the meat and holding that bank account tight so she can get some real dick. That's steel, not plastic. Those little balls you got there. Because these balls are way more fire than you could ever imagine to that small mental capacity all the time. So who's worth talking to? And along with the negative comes some positively big nuts. Speaking on the negative with a positive again, as far as I'm concerned, I haven't been with any woman that I actually could apologize to. And moving forward to a positive way of living. But with the negative, I shouldn't have had to apologize because I find myself right. Until circumstances came some consequences of losing comfort from the woman, but it's okay. I've been alone all my life as far as finances because females jump up and down for a dick from me, but nothing to be completely added up. It's like we'll never get finished doing what needs to be done of bullshit in the way. And it gets hard, when things don't work out the way we like them to. So we give them thumbs down until whatever comes up. So when she falls down, it's there. And she must face the consequences. I just believe that it's easier for people when they listen up to what you should do. Because if you don't do them for yourself, no one else is. So women, keep that love on top of things and get off that bullshit you be on and stick to the script. Keep those pantyhose at home where they belong because nothing is nothing. But between you and I, what happens at home is in our hearts is what counts. So stay real and be jolly. 411, hun. And again, who's worth talking to? Private political violence and the law of life's rules and regulations of limits. I've jogged around the canal 3 times in Indiana, Indianapolis, trying to have a peace of mind and would love to see more places that are as beautiful as the canal in Indiana. But the issue is this. I have to have a place to stay in this world. It wouldn't make any sense on why not, and some action should be taken advantage of right away. There's a difference when you find yourself in prison, when you are free of feel as if you may be better off trying to stay alive and turn yourself in and hope that percentage of life that you do have left in your life, hope for a change somewhere, and pray to be able to continue to look at the future. Who's worth talking to? I say this world will never be a perfect world because this is not heaven. And anyone who is looking to try and do that is out of place. Let us start reading the Bible and stay reading one over and over again, chapter 1 over and over again. There's too many people, lesbians and homosexuals. The part is, it says in the Bible where you should turn the other cheek on your Eve or your mother. Mary, it also says there a woman for every man. And another part where Adam gave her a spare tire, Then it say God made woman for the likes of man. If I'm correct or something like that, I say whatever it says in the Bible today looks like someone must have changed some parts in there around. If you ask me, who's worth talking to? Also, I remember where it says God loved the native as well, and they were the produce of fruits for this world. But then it says he loves all. But I also know Jesus has a slight crush on me because Jesus loves me because the Bible tells me so. My judgment is the Bible has some mysterious ways, but only what I'm truly judging is the way I've been living my life, and sometimes even wonder if he really does exist, because the way I've been neglected is out of order and seeking personal justice. For example, I could be out with one of my favorite women or women and could be in pleasure here. I am acting lame and writing a damn book. You guys to be kidding me. Tommy, writing a book? Child, please. It's ridiculous. I would go to fairgrounds and everyone would get jealous because I was in line to drive a go-kart or the bumper cars. There were, go again, people got the wrong impression. That's what they get for judging me without my permission. Speaking, maybe we can sit down and have some wine or tea together, and I could tell you the type of I like is called the type of tea I like is called the type of tea I like is called Stash. I'll say that it's a spiritual blend, a special good religious time to drink. This tea is during fall or in the hot summer nights. This tea is from the herbs of India. Chapter 11. Voices that should be heard. There's some people that have been neglected and discriminated and took advantage of and been plotted on in many ways. You know the saying, the rich get richer and the poor gets poorer, right? And a lot of people such as myself should be able to have a place to look forward to, and there should be someone you can talk to about those situations, because there's a reason why they would be at this particular building place and find out what's going on and where being mistreated and who has been doing this mistreatment, and then comes a point to where the head of staff communications with the governments of the states and puts all these people that they are communicating with in their places, and proof of action has been taken care of, and no one else in these certain parts of cities or parts of countries will participate in those misfortunate actions, because of life is a beautiful thing and no one wants to be infumigated and left walking on the sidewalks all the time. Does that make any sense to you? And they sure don't want to be left there. We all should know right from wrong. When we became men and women, what can make yourselves a fully mature male and female adults in the end? We believe that there is a heaven or a hell. So does acting as children seem to be a wise thing to do? So let's stop what we are doing and put all those childish deeds away that are in our hearts, because it's different when small issues come your way. I just feel that the world is missing some people that need to be in other places than where they are. There's some people that were good at math. I wasn't. There's some good at science. I was, until math came into the subject. There's some good with English. There's some good at gym. There's some good at music class. There was some good at history. I was a B student in English history. I was a D student in health. But what I'm saying is this: the world of people were not created to be geniuses. We should find out where the weaknesses are at. I would say we need more scientists to determine where people's minds are at. I would guess the grades in a room for one scientist, and at half the year, hell, start with the first student and until the last student left, and ask what they want to qualify to do for a career. And the scientists should continue to give them advice to never give up and to believe in yourselves, and people believe in one another and whose word talked. Another part about it is that if I wouldn't have had hard enough to write or speak about what has happened, and I wouldn't have took my time or the time out for my misfortune, then I wouldn't have had time to write about what is happening and what the world is missing out on. These limited corruption sounds like a voice to make a hell of a show, show or a movie to gain people's personal attention, and people would have some sense of value to overcome these life's problems they've had, and the people with these social problems have a cure and become more moderate after giving a wonderful explanation why they are behind, so people would have the knowledge what has gone wrong in their lives, because you will never truly understand others' mind or the effect on a person's mental capabilities. Capabilities can go to other things that can achieve as a person that what I thought undergraduate meant. But some colleges managers lie about that as far as I can remember back. But the truth is no one cares to put out their hands to reach down and help. Not only the worth of taking people, it's also good talk with people to know what types of people they are, and acknowledge things they say with some sense of concern, because they might be on the wrong track or they might not. But you can also be on the safe side, but hopefully you are not in the eyes of a perpetrator, because if you think they are, move out the way. If you think comes trouble, life has changed too much. It's the same. I've learned about homosexual behavior, and that people will try and trying to be a heterosexual just to walk a straight path when I was younger. I've been down some terrible roads with people, gays, I mean, wishing they were lesbians, and anyways, life never changes as far as homosexuals. I didn't write this book to be a writer. I also didn't write this book to become a famous person. And I didn't write this book to win the Nobel Peace Prize. If I do win, then I deserve it and earned it at heart. The main reason for this book and the voices that should be heard are people in communities that feel exactly like myself, that don't want to suffer anymore because of blacks and whites, that discriminate because they're not as international as we are as people, without seeking into the minds and heart and soul, because just with one look, jealousy becomes an outrage of hurt and pain, without any de- dedi- dedication to a conservation, and then become a victim under the circumstance for being a threat to the person, not knowing the personality of the person under the disguise, the costume, under the disguise of the costume over the soul comes the judgment. I hear there's some nice ladies in the state of Wisconsin, just wanting a good man with no kids. I'm honest. to my black female friends I used to date, but looking for a good lady passenger that would provide the vehicle because of prejudices. But I would adore driving you wherever, whenever. I feel uninternational, I guess. I'm not international as I thought. I was thinking of another good opportunity. Maybe a black woman that's beautiful in every way, that has a job into the law department, probably a police officer, telling all her fellow officers that her new male friend, which would be me, of course, so I can drive her to work without being harassed from her fellow officers, and just hand them this book so I can drive long as in the city limits. I know this is a real life, but take it easy, man. Damn, he's a human being, for Christ's sake. Who's worth talking to? Shit. I thought to myself how I'd been in trouble in the state of Ohio when I was a teen. I then became a career criminal, and I thought to myself, at least I had one. And I had a good career out of being a criminal. But, you know, people do change. And at those times, when I was a young male career criminal, I wanted to say a lot more of what I thought about some whites or wondered what was going through their heads. I just wanted to say I'm not two-faces because I'll tell you to your faces. I am not afraid to be honest about what I believe and who's worth talking to. White people, oh man, you just don't know how I feel. I was talking to some of the bankers at my bank that I attend most days. The lady manager told me to give her a copy of my book when it's published and done. So when this book works out, I will give her a book that I wrote. I want to take this opportunity to say I didn't vote for Obama, but when I do get the opportunity, I will go and buy his book. Not saying if I voted, I wouldn't have voted for him, yes. I'm for him very much. I just can't stand criticism. I think, why aren't you there? Or why you got something to say about whatever has taken place or will be? That's two faces because they'll never tell him what they really think. Also, the main reason for this book is for my civil reasons. Part of my life that means the most, like my romance with Darling, I dreamed of dying with on Valentine's Day, a sweetheart I never had on such a special day. Reminds me how lonely I've been through these 3 decades, and how many sexual favors have been massacred and trampled all over railroad, almost like some of my court cases. Me having my woman with me every day means the world, as well as this book I wrote. My concern is this. I want those 30 decades of my life back, and to be dealt with in a professional way, with class, through governments, and a smile, all the way to the bank, for millions, for every year of those 30 years of misery. And if they do, excuse me, I do not want that old reject story about do not come back to America bullshit, because I didn't start a war, I'm ending one. There's another opportunity that I just heard from a basketball coach today, and it was very interesting what he said, and his point was very sharp and meaningful. He said this: there's many people that will surround you to try and stop you, but work your way around them and you might open many other doors with opportunities. Now tell me this. Wow, is he right? I say yes. Because it's funny, I'm on chapter 3 called Opportunities, and the strange thing is that it was a good opportunity for me to be there. I could have walked out of the gym and not received a damn thing. Seems like may have been a person of who's worth talking to. I thought to myself, being on chapter 3, Opportunities, I wanted to say nothing. I'm saying in this book is nothing. I'm saying nothing in this book is fiction. It is all facts and the truth. I'm writing this book for a career and on a mission to free anybody that's in any society in the world that's being rejected because they're better looking than others, and that they are left behind because of schools and the Western education that could have been done a whole lot better, but couldn't because of grown men plus grown women's fatal attractions, and a game for strong individuals and pain for the weaker people that have been selectively picked to be unsuccessful because of neglect. In a cold, cold world, From what I'm seeing, I think the most discriminated against are the blacks in the head and a held fact because of myself, a black native Cherokee, because we as blacks are wonderful looking and been hated on privately for many years and many more. I just hope we stay that way. The truth is, I have or am attending Augustana College for some art classes, but not really in college. I'm actually volunteering to come to the class and paying $5 a session. There's only one black in the class, and guess who? It's me, Mr. Thomas Phillip One Feather Bell. I have also been thinking, how come everyone believes that I can be something and no one else wants to be anything other than a doctor or a nurse or a punk ass cop? And what I believe as far as a job, I can't be a CIA officer. I have to be an artist. There's many jobs or ideas that I have for a career other than what others choose for me. People then chose my whole damn life for me. Where I live, what I drive, where I walk, how far my woman stays from me, where I should go. If I walk to my woman's house, it's almost like saying, hey man, I don't feel like going to take a shit. Why don't you go for me? And then when he/she comes back, I'll say, did you wipe? You know, damn. Bus hoes police. I think a job with driving would cure some of my life problems. A car test driver, limo driver, a taxi driver, a Greyhound bus driver, a coach, a movie director, a model. There's so many ideas when it comes to opportunities. I'm also good at being an exterminator without the pump because I get rid of bugs just like I get rid of raggedy women. You know, the ones that catch the vapors or those types of people you do the electric slide on and get away with it and can't say it was a great opportunity to get away with it. I never thought dancing was a career, but it sure can grow into one good opportunity for a career. And culture for blacks and Cherokees because the beats heal our hurt, pain plus anger and danger areas. As men, belly of the beast, you and I know what is good as far as many opportunities. Try, because you'll never get an opportunity unless you try. Try and put those words together correctly and organize them to the best of your ability. Guess what a person that doesn't try becomes? A failure. I'm not talking about women. Try them later and try to keep a laugh. That's the main reason why I stopped talking to them because there are more things importanter to do than a disease. When I say that, look into a health book and see what it says about her problems every month, and you'll understand. Oh, she'll look the other way when you say that, but she knows it's a fact. Personally, I think that you shouldn't worry about her too much. Worry about you because she's looking next door to see who's worth talking to about getting her ass pregnant. And that's why I stay away or get rid of that roach. Call the exterminator. 911, anything, unless she loves you and you're ready. There's another career I have plotted out as far as my cover goes on the front of this book, and I would enjoy having the opportunity to be a director to Hollywood to act as Frank Nitti in a motion picture starring Mr. Thomas Phillip One Feather Bell. Well, it's been many great opportunities for me for the last 10 years working, plus with freedom at the same time helping friends with something in their place that need a slight fix. I must admit, if I sat around waiting on a woman to fix me, ain't no telling what position my ass might have been there in Mahoney Valley, Ohio. As a man, and this isn't a black or white thing, this must have been personal. The sex was one personal about personal reasons. Boy, I want an opportunity just to lay down a mansion on the highest hill there and lay and with just a dare to find an insult at my door. Stepped after I put in all this hard work. 411 hun equals who's worth talking to. Honestly, I am going to say I am not gay with being without Mrs. Whatever her name is, but I'm hoping she comes to me before this book hits the top of the chart. The opportunity is right now. I don't even want to hear the poor native went through the world of trouble in every way, and here you come with that bullshit. I started thinking of ways on how to evaporate you. I think that me and this woman that must love me hold a lot in common, and she is too busy pointing a finger at me or putting it up at me. But they know damn well I know how to hold a pistol. If I ever got married again, it was in Youngstown, Ohio, at the wedding. I'd be holding a beautiful 28 karat gold Glock 9 and 24 Ks in the other because something's up. Shit. I've also been to Indiana, Indianapolis. Even though I've traveled to tough times, I've also had some tough time games of pool in some of those bars there. But it's a great place to camp and a great place to witness college campus grounds, IUPUI and Ivy Tech. I asked a woman that worked at the YMCA, did she know a black police officer that worked in the city of Sioux Falls? Sounds funny. Seems to me, why should I have to even ask those questions when things should be right anyways? Government should set things straight, but that's life. Also, I've trained myself for white and black discrimination. But first, you must know why. Discriminated against blacks discriminated against me because they're poor and wanting help. Whites discriminate against me because they're rich and they buy what they want, even if it's your girl, and probably will let them. Maybe that's why us men have been treated so poorly for those odd reasons. There's more as I think and reminisce on what the radio tells me. Why is the value of gas going up and they're adding more percents of diesel into gas? Diesel fuel is for semi trucks, isn't it? Because governments are ahead of jokes. Isn't America that type of people that want you to go to church with Christopher Columbus and stand as one nation under God invisible and liberty for all? Where's the justice? Don't tell me that Obama's against me too. Who's worth talking to? I remember today as I was walking home to me Castle and those gas fumes hurt. I also asked a female police officer if there were any African American females that were nice looking that worked as a police officer in Sioux Falls. She said no. I told her when there is one to aware her where I stay so I can get to work and let her fellow officers know how much of a good driver I am, or was on her way to work. Very politely, she said okay. I'm thinking on trying to get myself into some classes of CIA for many good reasons. Not only am I thinking of myself, also others that are in danger like myself. I think that politicians are the danger I'm facing in this world of 2010. I think defeat happens to all of us, but defeat also causes unity. But let us not forget, there comes a time when we all lose in the end. We lose our mothers plus fathers. We lose to our friends in sports. We lose our material objects. We lose our friends that pass away, animals, etc. We must lose our mates, but not because the sex life. We lose the mental values for the relationships. We can lose our minds. We can lose our bank accounts. We can lose our way. But through the pain, we must step forward to the next day, to the next battle of the days. I say we must try to go with the flow of instinct because you and most people know when someone is out to hurt you. So we know and learn how to make things easier without too much concern because there's a whole lot more important things going on in life that we must learn about and find and cherish them with value of ways to these ideas that people like you and I can observe. In doing things, there's no prejudices involved. It's an experience and you just love doing them and think of ways to advance that skill and provide and produce the newcomers that you can try and make them develop a more advanced way. That's a way better for the future. It's not about what they think about being better than you. It's about I can be better than he slash she and make a way for people to continue to do things that way in life. Hoping without the prejudice shit, meaning everyone, people, and if we are any good, why not all nations as one? I'm wanting this book interpreted in many languages plus in foreign countries for some understanding that they're not alone with that BS. As I was out shopping, I've had some white females take a good look at me. I ain't even gonna lie, I like to fuck some of them white females, but this pimping baby, I ain't gonna act like a child. You done bought another man his Cadillac, now treat me as an equal and buy it. I ain't gonna sell myself out, you see, but I can sure tell you this. I don't want any other race in control of this big dick. I might have another race, but I'm gonna talk for this dick. This dick is mine. Until you learn how to treat a real man, baby girl. And if you're ready, then let's get these parties rolling on in. We will have a wonderful time. I've then displayed that already. When I'm given all good time, I love to entertain. I do not like to show emotional feeling unless I'm with my old lady. I wonder if I'd be allowed to have a woman in every race. Wouldn't that make me king? And who's worth talking to? I do not discriminate on booty because I love butt. I just discriminate on how it wobbles, and I work hard on it. Oh yeah, speaking on work, sure, women, I wouldn't mind going to work every day for your love, but I'm not going to walk 100 miles to get there. This is real life, but I will drive. It's been tough enough. If you love me, you will accept my invitation. If not, get lost, bitch. I've then walked so many days to work and found myself hurting a long walk. Fuck that. That ain't doing it. No more. I'm not doing it. Not cool at all. But oh yes, I am. And I ain't gonna say I'm this, I'm that. But people then told me this and told me that. Well, you tell me this and you tell me that. Ain't told me nothing right. What all that for? Who's worth talking to? Can you answer that? And if you are who's worth talking to, then prove it. There comes a time in life where a man must learn to be in peace in his life. There came a time in my life where I must have almost lost my mind. I had no privacy. I had to tell people things that were supposed to be kept quiet. I had to find a way to say everything I wanted to say that wasn't right. And I did. Something else is on my mind. Luckily, I'm able to say that they fucked up in America, fucked up gas in America, then added diesel fuel. Some friends of mine that cannot hear or talk are probably going nuts about me, wondering where I am. I've learned some sign language those times when me and my friends hang out together. Also, these political issues eased up some lately with whites. Out, I'm still crossing streets like a wild animal, but I know someone sees me out here, and I know I want a normal life. I know my feelings ain't that much of a biggie, but damn, I've been crossing the streets like that because there's some percentage of diesel fuel in the gas today. I don't know, whatever these people are doing to me is ridiculous. I don't even have much feelings left in this world, but I can say I always try and hope seems not to exist for this man, for this one. My man, meaning myself, it's pathetic the way I've been living my life these 31 years. I feel like I've been done something really wrong, so I'm being punished and unforgiven for whatever I did. Please tell me so I can accept the punishment like a man, because this ain't right. And if I haven't done anything wrong, then the title of this book should open many doors to success, and I will make sure my phone is on and get the rest of the job done. Sounds like a perfect opinion, but I sure will be waiting on my furniture. I probably just paid off from errands and would be glad to meet whoever can inform me about who's worth talking to on these small political issues that I'm obtaining and looking forward to demolishing them all so I can go on with the prolong of my life and I could bring a hell of a political change in the black native's future and a greater economical change and broader view of person that choose a better way to communicate his feelings other than the old Cherokee and blacks way, music and dancing to a funky rhythm politically. You don't know things or people unless you give them a try. It's like reading a book. Don't judge a book by its cover. Read it. And only God can judge me. I'm not the only one that knows what I'm going to do next. I seen some people that were black natives in a magazine a while ago. I would love to chit chat with, but I would like to wait until my finances are together so I can have a better communication and having a heart really matters. Because without the heart, you cannot function at all. With my brain, I couldn't live or even have an idea the way I feel. There's something wrong, but strong enough to continue with no holds bar. Who's worth talking to? I think females are out to turn many guys into females personally. That is wrong, and there seems to be a job that should be investigated on, unless guys choose to go that way. Me, I'm not into all that stuff. It's a mental disease that I don't care to be involved in. That means you're seeking a mental hospital. See, I like comfort, and I'm going to have it because I'm going to push on through these catastrophes. Things only change if you make them change. You have to be willing to give yourself some courage from your mind, heart, body, and soul. Keep yourself motivated to stay on the right track and greet people the best way you can. When May, you do you, and I'm going to do me. Chapter 5 Opportunity. The underground people that I have brought up in this book, I would like to make a mafia type of film with most of those rappers. It would be a fucking opportunity. And the movie would be kind of like a Goodfellas movie. I mean, a whole world of black drug dealers from different cities come together as one and perform in a mad production. Speaking earlier today, I was at the YMCA and I had an opportunity to get me a membership together. I was talking to a pastor in the sauna at the YMCA, and I told him about a guy that was driving a Cadillac truck. Looked like he was fronting on me because he was driving a nice truck, speeding up in the library's parking lot. So what I told the pastor that he was putting a yellow ticket in the box. I said, what was he doing? Because he slowed him down. Because I slowed him down. Because I crossed the street area where he was going, and he acted as if he was upset. Actually, he wanted to get hit. Asked if I wanted to get hit. I called him a motherfucker, so he acted like he was going to get out. He just eased up to pay his ticket. So I said, well, the pastor says he was just too caught up in doing what he wanted. I said, I guess he just wanted to go home, watch that big TV at home, the newer models. I said, keep your ass at home, be better than the front page. Ha! We both laughed. Hey, I left the YMCA sauna, but it's a pastor and a damn good opportunity, so I took it, and that's who's worth talking to. Well enough for, so also, I thought, well, I was well enough to who's worth talking to. So I think I have brought up about the new art classes I've joined in on at Augustana College, and I also will be posing, and I've had some pictures already drew up and framed from architecture that I've made a fair exchange with for a picture of a woman on stairs is what the picture's name is called. Well, the architecture gave me another architecture's name plus number so I could find out more information about posing plus drawing because it was something I've been interested in doing since I was a child. I've always had artistic abilities, so I have received a phone call from Scott Parson Architecture that works at the university. He told me the times to come in and to participate with the 12 students. So I participated with the class of 12 and I did great. It really had me nervous. I was nervous than the male model that was posing for us in the class. I paid my way in the class $5 and it's a great opportunity. We'll have a couple females coming to pose for the 12 in the class again. In order to be in this class, you have to have a check ran so the people that are posing are safe and that you do have self-control. What else I found out is the guy that runs this class named David is a photographer, and that's more to have to talk about and who's worth talking to. I finally got finished cleaning my apartment. I thought to myself, let me find out what's going on in America. So I cut my little clock with the radio. So I cut on the clock with the little radio. I hear the whites have been burning the Holy Quran and starting riots in some states. I just think, just burn the Bible in front of the pastor and see what he says. If he's a white guy, he'll probably tell you, you're going to hell. So do what he does. I'll do. But as far as taking it, anyways, as far as him taking it away, is a no-no. Not out of my hands. The whites called the Cherokee some thieves. But the truth is, the American mutts were the true thieves because we were fair Cherokee people. Some American mutts are unfair people. I say they're selfish individuals trying to take control, just like before enslaved times. American mutt wants us to think their God is better. The one reason is those Muslim females are down with her men because he believes into something other than himself, and the women respect that, and that's wonderful. Now, I have been staying in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, so now on the radio they say rape will be going up this year. I myself hasn't raped anyone, but if looking is rape, then I'm wrong. But I've been seeing more white guys with African females and Indian females other than their own races. Looks like white men are doing more wrong than being penalized for it. Us as African men or Indians don't put on a full rape. We do a romantic raping way. We as African men and Indians know when we hear it and feel it, so we let her go. But normally we're in it because she just naturally loves us as African and Indian men. And the way we control our misses, the way that white male does it, is incorrect. So why not a Holy Quran for our defense and for respect? Now that's strange because I've been in this apartment for almost 6 months. I mean, I had a few females, African, that is. But what I'm saying is this. Why no one ever sticking around? Why? Because of the white man's jealousy of me being here. So you can send the Holy Quran out the states. But what about me? You're against me, you know. What? I'll leave out of the states with the Holy Quran and my woman. African, that is. You're against me. So see ya. What's wrong? I'm single because of white men. I'm not dumbfounded. They want me to kiss their asses all day when I just want to go home to my baby. I love her because that's where I'm from. I'm glad that they brought up some more bullshit because it's a fucking opportunity for me to set myself free in my book that I am writing here. But the main reason for me to be writing is I'm sick of all the nonsense. I'm not prejudiced. They made me prejudiced. White people made me look like a failure. I know why, so they can have more control over the women than I will ever have. As I feel as a human, I feel some people that judge me before they even know my outcome over the circumstances, but I change through situations and time when I get what I need to get accomplished. Only then will you understand. I, me, myself, I am just like others. If you were in these shoes, it wouldn't be any different. So fuck what you guys to say about me unless y'all contributing what is personally for myself to get accomplishment done and over with and on to the next step in life, the next level, another task. But kids don't do this at home. And that's many opportunities that you missed out on. And that's who's worth talking to. If I waited on you or anyone else, it wouldn't have happened. The day before these prejudiced statements about the Holy Quran being burned, Obama's wife was on TV news, and boy, she was looking good. And anyways, in this city of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, I remember I was a child. They held a grudge because I was nicer looking male in these twin cities, and they tried to use me because of it. So if I'm thinking maybe I was considered in a late night convo with Obama and his wife, an opportunity to display a conversation with Obama and his wife with a U under my nose and mustache. So bitches in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, don't be all in these famous people's face when they come to visit me, because my quality is a whole lot greater than yours. And some personal questions and looking for some political answers, and also environmental transportation so I can adapt on living with my new wife, and will to do just that, and be able in all ways to choose the roads of life and the people I want to surround or who I want surrounding me, plus my wife. Speaking of opportunity, speaking of opportunity to you, this is my book. It's strange. Out of all these years I've been taken advantage of in the states of the United States of America by females and some people I know, let down by family and friends. I'm beginning to think I'm a robot, or hey, maybe Jesus. But people say stuff like that. Blacks use me as if I'm related to Abraham Lincoln. But if these governments care about economical, well, I'm going to say something about that. Who stands out alone like a sore thumb? Why am I always the one who stands out like a sore thumb? They have an area for the Cherokees in Miami, Florida, Homestead Manor area, but nothing from those governments. Sounds like a crippled mother that used you for Christmas. I did have a woman there in the Homestead Manor area. The houses where I were up to $10,000 in ownership. Yes, but where's the car you need? A car to live in most cities. Most people have family support them a car. Me, I've been alone and kinda like it because someone isn't doing what needs to be done or doing it right. Develop that. Who's worth talking to? It's a great time to bring up Robin Hood. The only thing the Cherokee robbed whites for was their youth and blacks out of slavery. Every little thing another race does with success, white Americans try and take it over and do many wrongful things or take advantage of other races and feel good after doing bad to other races. But remember this, be careful what you do to others and may come back to haunt you. The reason why I'm saying that is because I get treated badly and some whites are a big part of the reason why I have been defeated, but not with words, because there's a lot to talk about. Like the YMCA today, my membership card I just got this September, trying to steal my wealth back as I could hear an old man say, silent as possible, we're trying to take his breath away, like the true thieves they really are, like Tupac, the little homies, because they ain't man enough in the draws or anyone's faith. This isn't the white man's world. Who's worth talking? It's God's. But like I said, watch out for those gays. You know, the ones that say, you cannot bother those pretty young ladies. But as I was reading in the first old public library in the States, you can say what you want. It's the state of Indiana, Indianapolis. Just don't rape anyone. That's when trouble begins. But as usual, discrimination. The jealous white eliminated me from visiting the IUPUI technical field at the campus. I really was there, just trying to get out of the old environment of Ohio. Plus, I also was missing an ex-female friend of mine, and it was a great opportunity to bring her up again. Wow, she really put some smiles on my face. Yeah, we shared some painful times with one another. Beer, marijuana, but she loved me. I had to move on. Though a lot of male plus females must think it's easy getting over such a young woman with an accent like hers. It was powerful. She beat everyone. I adore her and still miss her. Chapter 6, Receiving. You will not believe what happened to me today, and I still don't believe it. But I had to think about why and how it happened. Well, when I was shooting around in the gym playing basketball, this young lady comes in the gym with a young boy, and I'm thinking to myself, I I got her. To myself that she's fine. I thought she was a lot older, and I'm showing out saying, I got her. She was wearing these tights and a t-shirt, so I'm like, she's a boxer. So while I'm over there with my nothing but net 3-point shots plus the foul line, I still have that old MJ shot. So some man that was sitting on a bench calls me over. He says, why don't you play my daughter? The young lady turned out to only be 15 years old. So I said, okay, I'll play her, no problem. Do you know this girl was like Shaq Attack? If I wasn't writing this book, I wouldn't know what to do. But she sure beat me. But like I said, MJ shots, as I recall that. But anyways, I've then had some wonderful times on the basketball court as well as the pool table and times of embarrassments. I played basketball since I was 15 years of age, so I wouldn't put my belief down for no one because I still believe that NBA dream is still there. I have some witness they'll probably pick up this book and be like, I remember him. It's funny to me because I was playing. I forgot I used to smoke, but it just goes to show that no matter how good you are, everyone loses and that losers quit and winners keep on going. Never put yourself down and don't get all big headed about it. Then that's what hurts. If I didn't have those old times that I had in sports and I couldn't say that I was ever any good, then I wouldn't know what way to turn. These women hurt me more than sports ever did. And what I'm saying is, what did a woman ever do for me to see me smile? Who's worth talking to? My adopted father used to want me to be an artist, but what I've read sounds okay, but not good enough for what type of lifestyle I had or the time that I wanted to share with my love in the future, meaning my woman, because artists are fun, but always on the go. So I thought of so many ways around it. It seems to me that my little shortcuts aren't working. They do as far as betting on the pool table because I won a lot more than I put in the pool table's change slot. And just because there's people in the bars don't mean that they brought money. The funny part about this money ordeal is this. Well, these minority of whites are fucking us on competitional bullshit about something they've already won. And blacks, once again, stand up. Let's come together as a whole race and don't be feathered about the old days. I heard that before, but as handsome of a man I am, someone is politically using me. And I want my queen that would hurt and very intelligently. I didn't say Hispanic queen. I didn't say Sioux queen. I didn't say white queen. I said African American queen. And it's funny, you ain't got no shame in that. I just keep rolling hard and keep it pimping. And how lame is that? Acting like groupies around famous cats. But I live like a G. I can sense the fear in your eyes. I'm more of a relaxing kind of guy, but I hate to go out with a bang. If I go any further with these women's disrespect, maybe I will worship myself because they leave me with the benefit of a doubt. I guess all I can say is that things happen for a reason. I was thinking to myself yesterday, and I said in my mind and out to myself, God liked criminals at the last meal table because God told them, I made Jesus die for your sins. and they told Jesus, "Sent you to die for our sins." And God knew the realest and just honest small time criminals, and they were full of sins and cheapskates. Think, who sat by the smartest person in class? Sorry, they wouldn't fail. I did. It's funny, my friend Daniel I sat next to every day at Watkins Christian Academy, I would get B's sometimes in the class, and without looking over at his page, he said, "You did that?" And I laughed. I wasn't a dummy like he thought. I was okay. Since I've been in the state of South Dakota, Sioux Falls area, I've been getting some evil looks or funny looking stares. But what they don't know hurts me, and everything I know makes me stronger. And without knowing I'm hurt is kind of mean. I've also became to grow some mental strength through this pain and suffering, being able to do things that was unable to do before is this SSI. Something to take advantage of and make life a lot better than it was before. And whatever happens, I can make a cure because there's one always for everything. Who's worth talking to? For handsome men, have you ever been discriminated against or lonely because of it? Well, I've been discriminated all day long some days until I get some pussy. But if I don't stop to get some pussy, it gets worse. Then people get mad because I turn blue. My whole point of it is is this. Go read sex books. They're funny like parts of my book. I'm going to tell you these people are lost. Honestly. I don't think it's because of financial crisis with blacks in America. I think it's because people are hiding something. People don't speak up about what they're doing or what's happening in their lives. And then we both are shying away because he or I won't speak up after we caught that idiot look on our faces. The other part about it is we want to know what's going on and why we feel that way. I say we need to read more scientific or research books to be aware of gaining understanding of people's thoughts in a calm manner. Who's worth talking to? And that's a fact. I'm not going to say what I've been researching in my book is a fact. But some might be true. For a second to receive what sense I have gained in my times of life for liberty and peace and justice. And whoever else receives these problems that are hard to deal with, the world's problems every day. The other part about it is that the people that don't know much or even sound or look like they do know more than some other people that are way smarter than them. And even they want to know what's going on and will ask you because they think you know, but you don't. But they say out loud at the same time, something ain't right. And they said together, we don't know what it is, but we're gonna find out. I think females are in control of the United States, and not only in America, plus some cocksuckers know it. Not because I'm walking still. I throw all my times of being slave to receive not a damn thing, and even he ain't worth a piece of shit. White power. Who's worth talking to? I don't know if this book is going to be able to get published or put on a shelf, but I have to get Don Lake to publish it for me. But he's not going to do it because he don't have it. Just in case I die, get killed. You know how the story goes. Not saying that's going to be a fact, But this is real life, the day-to-day living. I cross streets like who cares if I get hit by a car? It's been 31 years of fake ass bitches. What do I have to live here for? Yeah, the butt got me, but it ain't all that, ladies. Hun 411. In the state of Ohio, city Youngstown, I've had sex from time to time as a young male. Got most of my bitches off crack with this dick, gaining some creased crackheads because that's what I do. Receive some pussy and relieve minds, okay? What I'm saying is this. Oh, I'll say this from what I know. It should be some money coming my way, plus some pussy and many cracks I could put my hoes into. Because if my dick is keeping me alive, then for your man, life is too short. And good luck to you. White power. Who's worth talking to? Yeah, I know my shit ain't all that, but yours ain't either. And I'm not asking you for all that. You're thinking that, and that's what the word communication is for. And then comes a long understanding. I'm looking for one love. I'm not going to sit here and explain everything I've been said twice. That was important. So go back and read it. Then touch down with me once we have that clear. Then we can ride out together and get some knickknacks. I just love McDonald's. I feel like a straight up pimp when some fries and a Coke is in my hand. And I'm still talking to my lady. I used to go to McDonald's 3 times a day, every day, when I used to drive my 1988 four-door Brougham. I bet this mishearing my hub. I bet they mishearing my hubcaps rolling, shattering, shaking up the streets. A fine ass man like myself. Shit, I bought me a Cougar after that. Boy, I traveled in my 1993 all the way to Columbus, Ohio, from Youngstown to Indianapolis, then accidentally to Cincinnati, Ohio. I had to do 90 all the way back to Columbus on XL. It took 40 minutes, then back to Youngstown, Ohio. The bestest time I ever had in my life. What a peace of mind. I love driving far like that. No one to argue with about directions, no one to receive compliments on how good I drive. Not a worry in the world, just me and my steering wheel. We all don't have good days every day. I don't care who you are, who's worth talking to. I remember me and Don Lake had this convo in his office. I don't think he remembers, but I spoke and I had us say it together. Who's worth talking to? Yes, that was a couple years back. Pretty much everything we've talked about in my friend Don's office, I got done handling all my personal business except this book. But believe me on this, I'm on page 140. I'm going to get this published and done. Who knows what after this? Shit, LOL. Can you see cameras, lights, and action? That piece of shit life is over. And I'll be looking like William Shakespeare. Then the hell with Alfalfa. Almost forgot to capitalize his name. He's not important. He's another man's treasure. Yes, I love you with all my heart. I tell her. Keep reading, man. I love you. Walking past those raggedy, lazy females, the ones with the romance books, and the man she was waiting on died last night in the Southside Hospital. So if you're into that shit and you feel you are sexy enough for Mr. Good Stuff, put the luggage down and come talk to Who's Worth Talking to. Chapter 9, Judgment. For some strange reason, I then ran a thought through my mind about judgment. I kinda can hear people say as I walk by, he's sure taking his sweet time to hypnotize us. If I was that type of guy, I really don't care at all what anyone thinks about me. And this book is not to be judged and has nothing to do with music that I like, rap, R&B, or hip hop. This has to deal with some things that happened in my life and looking for shelter, safety to be in my true armored colors, the type of vehicular homicide I might die from. These fumes from gas, diesel in it, I've been bleeding out my ass because of it probably. I want things exactly perfect, and if I am dying, then I want to be able to have a chance for that classic date with Tony Braxton. Expenses are great quality besides. I'm not used to being rich, but who said you can't have dreams? Well, I say, if I've been accidentally pursuing others' dreams, I'm sorry. I guess what goes around comes around, and I wonder who's been taking mines, who's worth talking to. I see the love that I would love to share with the woman of my life. Isn't there or may not be able to reach her ever, and hoping I don't die at the last moment or someone kills me. But hey, who cares about a man that wants to be the man for you? So please be cool, ladies, be real cool. I like things relaxed. If things were my way, you wouldn't have such a hard time in bed. Someone's going to kill me. Well, look, things are serious. I'm just trying to keep your eyes open wide in society, period. I'm saying let's get together as all nations and leave none out, not one person. I just thought about becoming a CIA for economical values, and there are a lot of communication that or we're being missing out on. I guess that's what an underdog does. He comes and swipes everything out. But hey, it's about that time that I let go on all these political crimes that do yours and let me do mine. And I take my time while I'm dropping on these lines. I look around, they all dumbfound, they all wannabes. How can you rap to hoes like that? I ain't reaching the crowd till I make the party say hip hop. But as far as communication, it's like you're talking to Slick Rick. I get my point across like Rick Ross, big in the draws. Well, people just knows how those parts are. I guess that's life. Most of the time lately in life, I feel how can I stop and help you, and I can't help myself. Plus, I'm in a danger all day long. So as long as I can get to where I need to be in a hurry, I'll be safe at the nearest stop near you. It's like to the nearest destination. Who's worth talking to? I was supposed to get a colonoscopy in Indianapolis, because my colon was cut, or I may have some internal bleeding. It was a personal secret. Well, let's say I wasn't looking for anyone to figure that out, but hey, that's life. Once again, I have a walk through the park before my apartment, and there was a white woman standing around talking on the phone. She says, or it sounds like she said, "You worship yourself." I said, "No, I worship my woman. The only women that are close enough to me is African American. But I know white females are out for my life. But what I must say to my beloved black woman, must I do what must I do to gain your understanding? Because when we're together, it's like Mrs. Butterworth. I know they want this dick, but I'm not going to give it to them unless I have my days with my woman that's left of me and for me. And they know I know the way and the truth and the way I want to be strength in our family life. And that's us together until we leave this place. If she can see it, why can't you? I think black females' hair is beautiful enough. You don't have to be perfect. All you have to do is rub your soft hair on my face, and I'll rub mine on your pretty smile and those round eyes and those and lips. I love your sexiness. You're beautiful. I never said you're not. And sex is an everyday occurrence. Your soft skin, that kiss at night, and I'm just wanting to lust for your hug, a hug, kiss until we sleep. I'll say that all people are beautiful in their own built-in character, It is just about who's around them at times and who can see the accent that will work for the person as a charm. I've had some wonderful choices of friends with accents that wasn't the usual, but basically as long as they're not pests. Chapter 10. Victim under the circumstances. I could have been a whole lot better person than I am right now. I'm talking about my own economical development I set up for myself. But through this pain or discrimination actions, and because of white folks, courts, and mostly all white police officers, I wouldn't have been so discriminated against whites. Hell, I'm only playing a defense role until I'm able to have full recovery of all life's satisfactions, and then you'll see a different side of me that you have never seen before. It's not like I'm a movie star, but I've been thinking of a few rape episodes I would play in the lights of the camera and film, but yes, not part of life's freedom, not a percent, not half, but all life's qualities. Then I can have all my economic concerns dealt with. Now, we all know, whoever has been reading this book, that I've had more problems than math or algebra and biology. So put those pieces to the puzzle and my little discriminant actions make sense and they add up. So you do the math. I was thinking on the diploma. I think I've done so much studying and reading and life sciences, I probably will receive one after this book is put on the shelf. Maybe a notice from Wall Street Journal or Time New York magazines. The world's most intriguing discriminated man, and the first to know there is a great value of discrimination to all people, not only on him, but there's enough and a way for something to be done for those criticizing situations, especially for America today. And possibly I could get escorted to that show, America Today, Who's Worth Talking to. I do not believe that life begins with what sign you are, Pisces or Virgo, Capricorn. Bullshit. Who cares? It's not important. It would be a problem with people that look for those signs to hold a conversation with a person and think because of those signs we can establish things better because we're the same sign. I think it sounds like an easy way to start a fight, if you ask me. I say, who's worth talking to? I do bring it up sometimes because I think we have, or she looks like a Capricorn. Look like I'm a bust a cap in your ass if you don't shut the fuck up for one reason. Your breath stinks or you're talking about shit that I could care less about. I'm thinking of a way how to get my dick wet and you're over here blowing me out with those germs or those females that look like a walleye and ask her what's her sign because I'm thinking of a blow job in my mind, but most of the time I'm wrong, but most of the time I get some pussy and some head. After that it's cool. So I just go with my life, but I usually always have good sex, but lately since then I got older and have more than enough dick when I do have sex with a woman. Nowadays we both say thank you to one another. I may not be the best man in the world, but I'm a hell of a release and I love to share it. I love the laughs of relief because it feels so wonderful. I feel like the man on the moon. It's like gravity. It's uplifting pleasure. I was reading a sexual social book and it told me how good do you think you feel when you are relieving others and yourself from 1 to 10. And if you're not happy with what you are driving, someone is ripping you off. It said, backtrack. Who's worth talking to? So after I read that part of the book, I had sex with another woman and I asked her how it felt when she busted a nut, when we busted a nut together. She said, really, really, really good. I said, and laughed. For some strange and odd reason, I got this small problem. Some people don't want me around my own city I was born in, but not raised in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I was born in Yankton, South Dakota. That's not right. Before I came to Sioux Falls, I got off the bus in Capital, South Dakota, Pierre. And guess what? I was staying in a hotel called Motel 8 that after some time of renting a room until my finances were spent, police got me some help from the SSD officers there for a few days. My rooms were paid off for about 15 days, but I had 11 days left before my check came. I had an apartment ready for me there. The policeman wouldn't let me stay, wouldn't even trust me for a few days so I could rent the apartment. He asked me, one of the officers there in Pierre, why I wanted to live in such a boring city anyways. I told him I'm just tired of the same old, same old. Said, we're going to get you help and send you to a city where you can get some immediate help because the temperature is below regular temp because you will freeze here and we don't want that. So as I was getting on the bus at the Greyhound station, they said they're going to use the hell out of him to the other officers. So there's something going on out here. I say people are very, very jealous of me, but hey, I have a place to stay. I'm human, and if that's the case, who's worth talking to under these circumstances of poor situations? Chapter 8, Political Reasons. As I walk into my bank today, where I hold a checking account down, I was talking to three of the bank tellers. One of the bank tellers' name is Miss Charity, and the guy bank teller is Mr. Justin, and the other is Miss Sandy. We held a small conversation about my book that I'm writing and what it's about, but they're thinking it's not the reason for my book. This book is for all good purposes for me to be free and hopefully financial freedom as well. Well, as we were talking, we had a couple of laughs and I spoke because I know it's hard on them working as bank tellers, but they all fit the category of who's worth talking to. This book is serious, not really about banks or much illegal activities. This book will cover me legally. This book is for me to have the opportunity to receive some cash from governments out of the cities in a few states I've been in, and a whole lot of justice from courts and straight to the bank with security that I will need possibly. I'll move myself willingly to another country. I'm going to take these advantages to say what I need clearly understood. Then comes along better privacy. I took a small walk and I ended up at the Sioux Falls bus stop, and I was talking to a black lady that I've seen around before. So I spoke to her because she looked hurt. She had a leg brace and she had a small fracture. Usually she is up and walking pretty fast. So I thought I caught her and was able to speak some. So I asked her what she is doing in life. I told her not to be an offense about being another sidekick, but she is going to school to be a nurse assistant. She smiled. So I have her telephone number, but at least she is up to something. I never said being a sidekick is wrong. I said, are you tired of being a sidekick? And why is everyone after the same job? She says she wants to buy her a house. I asked her what she wants in it. All the usual, she said. Seems like she was who's worth talking to. I was watching on the news broadcasters were talking about who's worth what and the expensivest man and his worth. They said Bill Clinton. I said he may be an old who's worth talking to, but to a black native, he ain't worth what they say. I think he's worth a blunt of marijuana, kind of like illegal and illegal. This book, A Mass Cure on Illegal Corruption. What's white is white and what's wrong is wrong. Who's worth talking to? If Bill wrote a book, it would say, who's worth smoking with? My book has a strong poetic meaning to it and justice to so whoever forget about me. Let's talk about our sex life. Here's what I have been thinking to myself. is that if we can't have sex with one another and be satisfied, then what has gone wrong and what can be done right? Well, first off, there's a reason. Either you may be having problems because either someone wants someone else and can't have that other person you're attracted to. I mean, honestly, look at my cover. Does it look like I want more women? But really, I just broke up with my woman in Chicago era, and my social security came, and I'm missing her and wishing I could have spent some of it on her. But face it, we all have lust, and some people just will not give in. I took this picture with my T-Mobile when I had it. I was in Youngstown, Ohio library at the particular time. I had a woman that I had my eye on as well in that city, and my heart was so broke I had to gradually work my way out of that insanity plea. Because from what I could see, if I wouldn't have I wouldn't have been any plea bargain for me except insanity. That just goes to show you people life is full of obstacles that we as people must overcome and raise up our value as humans, being not to year olds, 2 year olds who's worth talking to. The other reason you're the other reason you're really gay or a lesbian. I've been very impatient lately, I guess. I want that good release because I want a happy sex life for my dick. And men just don't fit the appetite on the other end of it. Thinking either they're homosexual dads or gay brothers, one of them, or uncles, or gay cousins, whatever. I'm not your father, okay? I'm looking for a pretty cute and that mirror look, the one where you just know you look stupid. It's better and maybe a good ocean next to the woman and I because I be at peace and I think I know she would be too because whatever it is that her tongue must be close to what's on mine because let's put the negative along with the positive and check the screen out on that and boy is that interesting and I make a better wish and a sloppy kiss good nights. Wow. Sheesh. I've been listening to the radio. I'm about to go around the corner. It's like, I've been listening to the radio, and they've brought up political prejudice problems that keep occurring across America and many other countries. It's strange because every time I touch down with a major topic in my book, these topics come up. My opinion, it's a rude topic to bring up my thoughts about prejudice. Is this, I do believe prejudice exists privately and not because I hold my own damn problems with white females. I do believe these problems occur with many other races blind sides because as you will notice there's not too many white females that don't drive a 2000 or a nice car. And she almost has enough power to run all over the USA man because he left the door open. So did his Caucasian pals sometimes. So does his Caucasian pals sometimes. I feel as if some people are out to kill me because some whites want total power over not only black men, but maybe many other races. It hurts bad, bad enough to just break down and repent and believing into something what whites want us to believe. Same as the Cherokee Native. We want you to go to church and believe in what we want you to. None of your beliefs matter to us because we want your women. So we are going to kill you anyways. That's why Tupac said, can't you see we're under attack? He started apologizing because he wanted his people to be strong, right? And then black females are so naive and naive. They know everything. Listen, women, you better start. Don't you turn around and be like, I should have listened to my black man. Now it's too late. Same as the Indian women. Yeah, she'll give you some pussy and leave, but don't expect her to come back after she leaves. She wants you to walk down alley with her, and we know that's the pit. And honestly, I don't think the native females care too much about their own race of men. I bet one won't even pick up this book or attempt to buy my book because of stupidity. Meaning what? Their parents never taught them the inside scoop about real life. That's why all over in America, every grown up acts like they're little 10-year-olds. And I have to put up with this nonsense and walk up the street looking at a world of brats every day. And the other funny part is this: I have no choice but to be single and cannot find not one mature enough woman to organize a bill, a percent of something. Any and all those pretty models in this world, let me tell you, let's slow this horse race down a bit. All those fake ass presidents that you didn't even know mean everything. Most of them were prejudiced, and you blacks, Indians act like a free safety for money. Why don't you come up with another behavior, Mrs. Whatever you call yourself, tightwad? A lot of females say I stare. I have to warn you, as my readers, this. Yeah, I stare men, but not at men, but at the pockets of where the money is. I stare where her meat hangs. Most am not talking about fat women, because I sure don't want to embarrass myself with being Miss Freddie Flintstone tiptoe around her. You are rolling around, and I'm asking God to play basketball with me. I love to have conversation, but I don't want to talk about it all day, about how good it tastes and the recipe. What a wonderful recipe, whether it was baked or broiled. Then I'd be walking around some more, probably jogging, trying to stay fit because we both don't fit in the car together. Now, how I'm gonna drive, I can't turn the wheel around. When she gets out the car and turns around, I get jealous. I tried leaving her, but as soon as a hill comes along, I stop. There was no way in for me in this relationship. I'm not in a relationship. I'm just saying, I'm a little guy, 5'8". I weigh 145 pounds, long hair, big dick. I didn't say fat dick. No. We have nothing in common. It's hard being different, being in another family and your biological is deceased. As far as I know, some more might exist. So if there are some biological family that have been missing, Mr. Thomas Philip One Feather Bell, Mr. Brian Mort One Feather Jeffries, and there's more, feel free to contact the publisher of this book because he will be notified. But yes, like I said, it's very hard to live a social life with adopted family because of discrimination values are greater because they're afraid of defeat. But a person like myself finds it very important to be as a human and understands I didn't make these old mistakes the judge did and my parents at those times of separation. But we can make those changes in our choices today and go for a different and better choice than yesterday and better for the days ahead. I'm a right now type of person. Like whatever happens in a good way, sometimes I do a lot of jibber jabber, but I guess I do it to please myself because who's keeping me up, my weight or Tommy? I just felt I lost everything that I ever mattered to me was my biological mom, Annabelle. So when I lost her, my soul left with her. Nothing ever mattered at all. I fell for some material objects, but some of them I'm unable to afford those types of expenses right now. And it looks like the truth hurts because the God these people pray to that let them be free is nowhere to be found. My guess is he likes me unfortunate than others. Maybe he'll show me some sympathy. Who's worth talking to?